Hello everyone, it's Simon from Funded Trading Plus here, and I've got some amazing, exciting news. We've just opened our trader education department. I'm going to be introducing you to our new head of education, Andrew Lockwood.
Hi Simon, great to be here. Finally, we've tied the knot and
We have.
doing something together. I'm really super excited about working with you on this venture.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
I've got a confession to make.
Go on then.
So back when I was doing trading education, sort of like 2013, 14, all the way up to about 2020, I always used to look at you as the gold standard, and I used to hate you.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So that's I built up that YouTube channel as you well know, and everyone's competing with everyone else, and what have you, looking at the views and all that stuff, wasn't it? And
it was more respect though. But the point is, I'm really glad that we're now working together. I think we're going to produce some amazing content, or mainly you're going to produce some amazing content.
I'm delighted to be on the team. I think one of the biggest videos I had, I think it took 2 million views in 2 weekends or something like that, which was which really set us on the map. But education. I mean, it's what it's all about, isn't it? If you want to achieve anything in this game, and that's why I'm delighted to be helping FTP out now in that flight.
So for people who don't know you, and I know a lot of people out there do know you, which is great. Where did it all start?
Okay, well, so basically, I started my trading career back in the wild 80s, Simon. So as you can tell, a long time ago. So I started off in the City of London. So I worked for one of the leading stock jobbers. Now, a lot of your viewers here today won't know what a stock jobber was, but it's in the times when they used to have those hexagons, London Stock Exchange. So I worked for one of the leading stock jobbers, who are basically market makers, as we'd know them as today. So I spent a couple of years doing that, became one of the youngest qualified traders on the LSE, London Stock Exchange. About the age of 21, I moved down onto the futures exchanges. So I was a floor trader in the pits, trading FTSE, Treasury bonds, UK government bonds. So I've been a floor trader for about 20 years, really. They're brightly coloured jackets.
So all those people who were shouting at each other in the pits, which we've all seen on films, you were in the mix of it in one of those.
Trading places. We've seen the film, Eddie Murphy and what have you, the orange thing and what have you. Yeah, so that's what we were. We were pit traders. Literally. Young guns, we were 21, 22. We were throwing around hundreds of thousands of dollars around on a daily basis. It really was just an unbelievable experience, and I dine out on it all the time. I just love the stories.
Well, we are going to go into that in more.
We
are going to go into that in more depth, because I know people will be dying to hear about that. What's brought you to where you are here then?
Yeah, good question. So, as you know, the open outcry sort of futures exchanges, they all became electronic around the turn of the century. I went to Singapore for 4 years, worked with the Singapore Stock Exchange in their migration into automated trading. And then I had to come back to the UK 2004, 2005 for various personal reasons, with the family getting older and all that, and passing on. So I started trading from home on the screens. Lost a shit load of money when we first started off. But then I sort of reinvented, and I had to sort of migrate it all back to what we're working. I was working in the city in those days, and so basically was trading, automated for 10 years. Got into the education space around 2015, educating and still, of course, trading, running trading rooms, educating. Literally, I must have educated tens of thousands of people over the years to getting them to achieve their goals. So educating really since 2015, still trading. Roll on to 2024. I'm now with you, Simon, at FTP. So that's basically it's in a nutshell. Yeah. That's
I'm absolutely amazed you've kept that to like under 5 minutes, having spent time with you.
Well, no, we've got a lot more. Apparently we've got 3 hours to play with, so I've got a lot more to come out. But yeah, I mean, no, there's lots to talk about in that, and it's the education that I do feel passionate about. But the education is two-way for me. Educating others also helps yourself in trading as well, and your own discipline. It's all about discipline. So it's a two-way thing. I mean, it's not something that I've just gone into, without any thought. It really does help, and so I love it. I love educating. I love teaching, and of course, trading is in my blood. It's what I've
done your entire adult life.
Always. That's it. Everywhere I go. I mean, it's quite funny now with the because of the sort of the following I have on social media. I get spotted in bars overseas and what have you, and people sort of coming up to me all the time, sort of.
To buy you a drink at least?
No, they don't buy me a drink. There's one guy came up to me, and I was in Madrid a couple of months ago, and he came up to me and said, "Are you the crypto guy?" And He bought me a drink because he did buy me a drink because he was a bar staff. So that was good, yeah. So they think I'm the crypto guy, and I'm not a crypto guy at all, really.
Well,
No, it's educated.
So if you see Andrew in a bar, you must buy him a drink.
Absolutely,
That's the rule we're establishing from the way forward. And, and if you do, we'll give you a free evaluation account.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, but yeah, education. It's all about education, isn't it, really?
So one of the reasons we wanted to do trading education is obviously I had a background in it as well. You've got the background in it. Is the fact that I thought we could sort of combine the sort of data and knowledge that we have from hundreds of thousands, millions of trades and hundreds of thousands of traders and sort of shape that into sort of an educational course. Of course, to some extent, there's no reinventing the wheel, is there? You need to use stop losses, for example. But I think we can probably just offer something that's slightly more tailored and finessed to prop traders. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. Most people that come into trading for the first time, they're all sort of excited by the dreams of it and what have you, and then the cold sort of stark reality kicks in after a while, and that's why I think certainly working with a prop firm, it's given fantastic opportunities for traders that maybe wouldn't have had that before. But equally, we have a duty, I think, to help traders as opposed to just letting them sort of fail on their own. So I think to add value, education is the most important thing. It's not all about just taking assessment fees. It's about getting people to where they want to be, because of course that benefits everyone, doesn't it? If we can make successful traders. So I think that's one of the reasons why education is so important in the prop space. We don't want to be just taking the fees.
Well, it's the old. I mean, it's the most common analogy given, isn't it? It's the case of you don't just sit in an aeroplane and think you're a pilot, do you?
Funny you mentioned that, Simon.
Unless it's your brother.
What a lovely segue. I'm actually a private pilot, actually. So yeah, so I had to fly out when I was out in Asia. 2000, and I use that analogy all the time. When I remember my first solo flight, you put the gas to the dash. You don't do that just by reading it in a book. You'd be madness to take off on a solo flight. So you've got to, basically, I think, be with people that have done it and basically learn from them. And education is not just done in a book, or on a YouTube video. It is an ongoing thing. And that's why.
But it has to be structured, doesn't it? It has to be structured. It has to be sort of built up gradually as well, like that. You don't just throw yourself in the deep end at any sort of sophisticated or complex skills or operation.
Well, again, trading. I was a floor trader, right? Shouting and screaming at people. You can't get any more basic than that. But what I've seen over the years is they've really, the education gurus out there, they've tried to complicate it, try to make it really sort of complex. And as I found in 2005, when I lost a ton of money, when I was getting into all these technical indicators and what have you, the simpler you can make it, the better, and that's basically what I've sort of toned it back down to, and I think that's proven to be, the most successful approach to trading, really.
Yeah, and I think when you and I have looked at how we both individually trade, we're quite simple, aren't we? We're like price action and things like that, because ultimately technical indicators are just a derivative of the open, high, low, and close in most occasions. Sometimes volume as well. So I think we're quite on the same wavelength.
We are.
KISS, isn't it? Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. I mean, it's exactly right.
For life. Huh? My philosophy for life.
My wife doesn't agree with me sometimes on that, but I agree. I mean, it's the basic price action. We use a couple of indicators and what have you, but I mean, the trading pits was a very different style of trading, and for me it was successful, and I've just basically emulated that on the screens, really, with a bit of technical stuff in there as well. And like you say, you've got to know how to protect risk and so forth and so forth. But keeping it simple is the most important thing, and that's the way I prefer to trade. Yeah.
So what can we expect from the trading education side then? Okay,
yeah, good question. Basically, there's something for everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner looking to find your way in the field, or whether you've been trading for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, or wanting to take it to the next level. Something for you there as well. Trading, one of the biggest sort of I always liken it to the three-legged stool, right? Yeah. You need strategy, you need risk management, and you need psychology. We're going to talk a lot about psychology. Psychology is one of the biggest killers of traders. So we're going to have a whole sort of dedicated area to psychology. But it's great having the psychology, but no good if you don't have a strategy. So we're going to talk about strategies for different trader styles, different people's sort of lifestyles. Some people can only spend 10 minutes a day in front of the screen. Some people are able to spend 4 or 5 hours. So there's going to be something for everyone there, some simple strategies we're going to go through and show reasons why they work. And we're going to basically tie all that in with risk management. So basically the 3-legged stool, we're going to explore that. But education, as I alluded to a while back, is ongoing.
Yeah.
It's ongoing, and it's going to be ongoing. And we're going to be having trading rooms and group sessions as well, where people can come on and interact and what have you. So there's a lot going on. So I'm super excited about what we're going to be doing in the future.
Yeah. So I think we've decided we're going to do sort of a course, which is going to be sort of video on demand content, and there's going to be some live streams, some potential group sessions. And so we have some fixed ideas, but also, we're going to be taking people's feedback as well, aren't we? If people want X, Y, and Z, then we'll cater for their needs as well, and it'll evolve. But I'm looking forward to seeing all the content that's going to get produced.
Well, likewise, I agree. And, as I said a moment ago, reading it out of a book, that's all well and good, YouTube, but here you can interact. We're here. We're live people. We're live traders that have been trading for 35, 40. Yeah, so we're live people. Any questions? You're not just alone. People struggle with certain areas. Well, this is part of the community we're going to be developing and creating and working with our traders, because ultimately trader success is our success.
Thank you very much for watching. We're super excited to have Andrew on board, as you can probably tell. Stay tuned for future episodes. We're going to do a much more deep dive into some of Andrew's history and hear one of his many interesting trading stories that you're not going to hear anywhere else. Thank you very much.